All right, let's go.
This is Frank's Locals Only Lounge, a place where the local music scene reigns supreme.
Welcome to the Lounge, brought to you by Guitar Sam, 71 Main Street in Montpelier, and online at guitarsam.com. Serving local musicians and Vermont-made rock. Nelson's Ace Hardware in downtown Barrie. Ace is the place, and Six String Station on the corner of Blackwell and Main Street in Barrie. They got strings and all kinds of musical accessories at Six String Station. I'm Dave Lawrence, and on this week's show, we have local tunes from Barrie's Native Tongue, from the Northeast Kingdom Red House, Montpelier's Abby Jenny and the Beasts of Bourbon, and Chris Robertson and the Socket Rockets.
Now let's fire this baby up.
Give it a good crank.
1071 Frank FM, Locals Only Lounge, Spotlight Artist, Soul Creek.
Tonight in the studio, Spotlight Artist Soul Creek. Guys, how are we doing tonight?
Really good.
Nice.
Great.
Well, it's good to have you in here. We're excited to have it. I think the audience is really going to like what they hear tonight out of your music. We'll go around the room here. In the band, we have Jason Stewart on vocals, Rob Bover on the drums, Ed LaSalle on bass, and Martin Marion on lead and rhythm guitar. He takes on the double duty there, which is pretty cool. Guys, give us a little background on this band. How did you guys come about?
Basically, a Craigslist ad that we all found each other, and we jammed before in other rooms, all except for Jason. I was the last to join in. The last to come into the group. We all tried to sing first and realized we couldn't, so we needed to have somebody else come in and do the job. The dogs told us yes. But we plugged in. I met Martin. He was with another band at the time I auditioned for, and I liked him. I didn't like the whole crew, but I liked him, and he answered a Craigslist ad of mine that just looking for somebody to jam with. And when he walked in, it was like, well, that's something here then if we meet again. And I haven't been able to stop him from writing songs since. He's a little machine. You plug in a quarter, about 4 or 5 come out. Then Jason and I have some lyric writing to do.
So Rob, you and Martin started together. Was it through Craigslist that Jason and Ed had also joined, or when you guys got together?
Ed was already there.
Yeah, it was
Rob
a jam
and I
group.
knew 25 years ago. We jammed around together. Rob went on to his cover band he did for years. I went to service, and then we hooked back up 4 or 5 years ago. Started dubbing around, and Rob found these guys.
Playing at the Lounge. We were renting off to you guys at the Lounge, playing there. Actually, one of the songs is written from there. We wrote at that place, and it was a lot of fun having that. But we wanted to stay original and not go that way, and our guitar player at the time wanted to stay with cover songs. So when Martin walked in, and that's all he wanted to bring was original, and that's the way we were headed, so it went that way.
Now, Jason, how did you come into the band?
Well, I had been in cover bands for the past 6 years, and I knew that I was ready to start writing my own. And so that's the first route I took, was Craigslist, was just scoping out the ads, and I came across this one, and these guys just wanted to write music, and I was on board with that. So I met up with Martin, and then we had a jam session with all 4 of us together, and everything seemed to click.
Now, was it a pretty easy transition for you to original music from covers?
I had been writing lyrics for a long time. I can't write music like Martin does, but I've been writing lyrics for years and have been wanting to do something with these songs, and just never had the people around me to do it. The guys I'd been playing with, I loved them, and we played great music, but it was all cover stuff, and I was done playing other people's music, ready to do my own.
Now, Rob, when you and Ed and Martin were jamming on these things, did you have other singers audition or come in before Jason, or was this something that just kind of fell right into your lap?
We had maybe a couple that came in.
One other guy was serious.
Yeah.
He wanted to, but we had to decide between
the
Jason
two.
and that guy. I'm from Canada.
That was bound to come out sooner or later.
And one of my favorite bands was Saga growing up, and the vocalist sounds like Jason. When I heard his voice, I was like, man, I really want to play with that guy, because I knew he had a good range.
Now, the first song we're going to play tonight on the show is called Mr. Hyde. Explain this one to us. How did this song come about?
This was an interesting one. I was writing these lyrics. I actually was at work at the time, and yeah. So the lyrics kind of came to me, and it really is about the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And I put these lyrics, they just kind of flowed. Everything was working pretty well. And Martin had shot me over an email saying that he was working on this song. And I said, well, hey, I just finished these lyrics like 5 minutes ago. We should, we join forces. And so he sent that over, and the lyrics matched up perfectly. He and I were writing at the same exact time, which was kind of cool. And the song really, really came together, and it's one of my favorites.
Well, I'll say it's one of mine. I was listening to it in the car yesterday, and the chorus is extremely catchy. It has a really good flow to it. You guys, I think you're going to really like this one. This song is called Mr. Hyde.
Locals only. 107.1 Frank FM, Soul Creek. Locals only. The Locals Only Lounge.
Let's fire this baby up.
Give it a good crank.
107.1 Frank FM. Locals Only Lounge. Spotlight Artist. Soul Creek.
Guys, you recently had a show at Sweet Melissa's. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, Sweet Melissa's is a great place to play. The owners there are really supportive of local music, and we had been playing some open mic nights there. After doing that a few times, they invited us to play a full show. We got our friends at Two Token Joker to open the night for us. We finished it out, and it was a whole lot of fun. Great crowd, great place to play, and a lot of fun for us up on the stage.
Ed, you had said you're used to doing cover music, or had in the past. How's it feel to get up there and rock on the stage when it's your own bass lines, your own song?
It's different. It's fun to see the expression from people when it's your music you're playing. The whole thing for me is live. You spend a lot of time in the studio or with Martin. I do most of my recording at Martin's place. It's nice to see people react to your music instead of somebody else's.
Rob, you were out rocking some original music, writing a lot of songs over the last couple years. How did that feel for you at Sweet Melissa's when you're up there rocking on the kit? And you've got the best seat in the house. You can see everybody, see everything that's going on. How's that feel?
It was great. And there was a snowstorm. It was a nasty night. A winter weather advisory kicked in at midnight. You're lucky to keep people there past then, and we did. We had some fun, pulled a few out of the bank, and brought a shovel. It was a lot of fun. The Two Token guys helped us out with that, hoping to get something out for the next show here.
Now, when you guys are writing your music and you're trying to tweak songs along the way, do you keep it in your mind, man, I hope this one goes over well live, or I don't know if this one's going to go over as well live? Do you pay attention to that when you're playing a gig?
Yeah. When I record it, I would say it's probably a lot slower tempo. And when we actually play it, it's a bit more up tempo.
Adrenaline's going.
Yeah. And then we kind of know what's sluggish or might not get as much attention. We always try them out, that's for sure. And then we tried out Truth back at Sweet Melissa's. It's kind of a bluesy, slow one, and we only got good feedback from it. So there's one that I just love recorded. It rains. Things just too dark.
Doesn't translate
into
a live show.
I mean, it's a great song to listen to in your room, driving down the street. But live, I think it just kills.
But Martin here, he likes to record like 3 or 4 guitar parts along with us. So it's sometimes there's songs that he makes that just you cannot play them live because something is missing.
And that would be a good plug for if anybody wants to fill in their
looking for a guitar player.
I was just going to say that. It puts a lot on me as a rhythm. I'm not only bass player, but I'm a rhythm player at the same time, and it does. It
Anybody likes
different.
It, give us a call.
I mean, it would be nice to pick up somebody else's chemistry that could play keyboard, rhythm guitar, both.
So you do like to road test songs, basically show test. You'll bring one to practice, you'll work on it, and instead of waiting for it necessarily to be perfect the way you want it, hey, let's play this at the next gig and see what kind of feedback we get. Maybe we don't need to change it. Is that kind of something you try out?
Yeah. And we're up on the stage and we're looking to see what the reaction is from the crowd for a certain song. Are they keeping the beat with the music? Are they dancing? Are they sitting there? Are they got their heads turned away, drinking their drink? We're kind of keeping an eye on that too, especially with these new songs. Like, okay, is this one working? Oh yeah, it is working. Okay, we'll definitely keep that one for next time.
What do your friends say when they hear you're writing songs? They're like, oh gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got a lot of people in your corner?
Yeah, actually, it's pretty supportive, and my family and friends are, all the guys from the old band, Native Tongue and stuff. They're all asking me when we're playing, what we're doing, and it's nice to have some other guys in the area interested. I know years ago when this thing first started with the area code 802 coming, and there was a big surge of local music at that time, and that's when I kind of left Native Tongue and I wanted to record. I didn't want to do covers anymore, and they were sliding back to that way, so that's the main reason I left and wanted to get to be part of that uprising of local music, and I'm happy that it's still going, and we still have a place to play it. And to me it's much more pleasing. I'd rather play for 6 people of my friends, my own stuff, than I would a room load of people playing other people's stuff. It's just more pleasing to me to do that.
There's a great sense of satisfaction that something that I wrote with a pencil or typed with a keyboard, and it matched with some music that a good friend of mine is writing, and it all comes together, and the whole band puts their influence on it, and then we're able to actually play it in front of other people, and they actually enjoy it. So it's
nothing cooler than that.
It's a great feeling. Great feeling.
The next song we're going to play is called Shame, and the first thing that stuck out to me actually on this song, besides hearing the riff before at the lounge with Rob, was the bass line. Ed, very heavy.
That bass line was written by Rob's Uncle Joe. Tried to stay with his bass line because it's something him and Rob had written.
He wrote the guitar part for it, and Martin made it more modern, made it heavier. It sounded better just the way it was. We asked him, what part of the song do you want to be on? And he picked playing the bass part. So that's one song that he actually plays the bass on. My Uncle Joe Streisberg, he's the one who wrote the song with me at the lounge on the couch one night when we were sitting there by ourselves and just goofing off.
Well, this is a great song. I think you guys are going to like hearing this one. This song is called Shame.
Soul Creek, locals only.
Heard you boys pushing me down, spreading your lie, making me your clown. There was a time before your attack, I'd take a bullet for you. did it more than twice. This time, yeah, I ain't gonna be as nice. Gonna rain some hell on your paradise. This time, yeah, no one's gonna stop the fight. Shame on me for your lies and your deceit. It's such a shame this had to be. You're about to see the world, show the world what's side of me.
Now let's fire this baby up.
Give it a good crank.
1071 Frank FM, Locals Only Lounge, Spotlight Artist, Soul Creek.
Guys, we have a show coming up here pretty soon. Tell us about it.
It's at Southside Tavern on March 20th, Friday night. Pretty psyched for it. It's going to be our first electric performance. That should be a pretty fun time.
Do you plan on doing a couple sets? Or is this just going to be one long set where you sprinkle everything in there?
Yeah, we're going to pretty much bring what we got.
We have a set list, but we don't follow it. We follow most of it, but if we feel like, we need to pick up, we just take one off the list and say, let's do that one, and then pick the crowd up. And then if we feel like, people are dancing, so let's keep on with the slow ones, Like our last show at Melissa's, we had a handful that we just picked through, and some we weren't supposed to play, we played, and some we were supposed to play, and just said, you know what, it's not going to work tonight.
Will this be your first show in Barrie?
Yes.
In Barrie.
So that's got to make it pretty exciting for you guys to hunger. I know, especially for Rob being right from around here. You're gonna be
there's
having
no excuses now. The friends got to come.
all eyes. All eyes are going to be on you.
Yeah.
What's the future plan for Soul Creek? What are you guys trying to do moving forward beyond the album? Do we have a set of gigs?
Plenty of albums.
Whoever dies on the most albums wins. That's the game me and Martin started playing, and he's way ahead of me.
I just want to keep recording. It's fun. I mean, to me, that's the stamp. When you're dead, it's gonna still be playing. So for me, it's legacy for my kids, my wife.
That's the same where I was just thinking that word. I was like, this is our stamp on the world. To have that and to record it, it's just that here we are.
Yeah.
15 minutes of fame.
Maybe in 50 years, it'll be like, wow, they had something. Where are they? They're dead. Now, at least they'll be able to listen to it.
But our goal is to keep recording, keep playing out, keep having fun.
This next song we're going to play for you is one of the slower songs that I've heard from you guys. It's called This Love. Where did the lyrics come on this? This sounds like a Rob.
Oh, no, it's actually...
But it's not.
No kidding.
This is one of the few slow ones that I wrote. This one, it was just really, I think that day I was just feeling like I needed to express how I felt about the woman in my life, my wife, and how I knew that we had such a strong connection together. And I was just kind of putting that on paper. And not a lot of the songs that I write are based on my life, but this one kind of was definitely influenced by that.
Was this one of the ones you sent the lyrics over first, or did you already have kind of the melody, the underneath?
He had the song first, sent it over to me, and when I listened to the song, I knew this was one of the ones that I was like, Rob, I need this one. I gotta have this one because I have it all. That one really flowed, and that was another very quick. It wasn't a 2-hour turnaround like Haunted was, but it was a really quick one. It just everything came together.
Well, this next song is called This Love.
Soul Creek.
I woke up this morning and see you by my side. It came on with no warning, yeah. This love I cannot hide. I know it's a love that will last when all else is gone. This time won't be like the intertwine. I kiss your lips slowly. You know we have all night. I know that this love is so true. It always feels right. I would do anything for you just to make you mine. By my side, it came on with no warning. Yeah, this love I cannot hide. This love.
Now let's fire this baby up.
Give it a good crank.
1071 Frank FM, Locals Only Lounge, Spotlight Artist, Soul Creek.
In the studio, guys, before we leave you tonight, just a few other questions for you. What do you think about the state of rock and roll right now as you're going out and doing your own gigs and recording your own music? How do you see it these days with the rock music you're coming across?
One of the things that I've noticed as we've played at the open mic nights at Sweet Melissa's, there's a lot of talent in just this little area. It's absolutely amazing. And, you know, up in Burlington, there's a lot of great talent. If you know where to look for it, you can find a lot of really excellent musicians out there.
Are you finding the original music, I mean, obviously the show's based on that, are you finding that that's really starting to seep in to the events you're doing? You're finding other original bands to share the stage with, etc.?
We haven't been finding a lot of other groups. I have found that it's not as talked about as much as original acts. Most of the time, you have your true hardcore cover crowd that goes to the bar and that's what they want to hear. And when you mention that you play your own stuff, you kind of see a look in their eye like, well, I don't know any of your stuff. So, well, okay, well, now we're going to have to talk a little more about our stuff and you're going to have to hear it. We have to bring it to them for that to happen. And if we want to get recognized and play more, we're going to have to play more.
There is a barrier to entry, I think, for a lot of bars to really want to give an originals-only band a shot because they know what they're getting with a cover band. They're getting all the 80s music and the 70s music or the modern music, and I think it is a little bit harder for an originals band, and it's a shame because there are a lot of those great bands out there, and they have to play those covers to appease the bar owners, but they want to get out there just like us and play their own stuff.
Now, if someone comes up to you on the street this week, they heard you on the radio, I like your stuff, and someone maybe hadn't heard you but heard about the show, how would you describe your band?
Well, we call ourselves original classic rock. We have definitely those inspirations from the classic rock of the 70s and 80s, but with a modern spin on it.
Unlike Jason, I don't listen to any new music. This is why I actually listen to Frank FM. I like the old stuff. I stopped listening to music probably late 90s. Everything I listen to is either on vinyl, old, and if it's new, it better be good.
But all that stuff seeps into your music. I mean, you get to put your own stamp on it. You're influenced by it, but you get to put your own stamp on the songs you're writing based off of with your influences mixed in as well. If you want to check them out, Soul Creek on Facebook, that's the best place to get in touch with you guys, find out what's going on.
Yeah, probably is. We can also be reached at soulcreekvt@gmail.com, or you can check us out on our Facebook page. Songs on Reverb Nation. We've got videos on YouTube.
So we've got an album coming this summer. We got the show at Southside. New songs in the work. It sounds like Soul Creek is really busy. Do you guys have any room on your schedule for anything else? Booking more shows?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're hoping to book some more shows. We're just taking it as it goes, as the doors open, and hoping that we can step through them.
This last song we're going to get to tonight, one really, really catchy song, it's called The Way. It had a really 70s feel to it when I first turned on. A really cool guitar riff. I'm assuming that was Martin? Yep. Has a great riff. The melody singing. Jason, the melody's on there. Fantastic. Tell us about this.
The guys had gotten on me because I had written a couple of songs that were kind of based on love. And so I put these lyrics together, basically made it an anti-love song. So, if you listen to the lyrics, it's, wow, I love this about you, I love this about you, but I'm sorry, I just don't love you. And so it was really it was reactionary to these previous songs that we had been working on, like This Love. That was, it was like, okay, enough of the lovey love. Okay, all right, then I've got a song for you.
We had to tell him to change his names because every other song was This Love or Love.
Yeah,
or something.
we had 3 songs with the word love in it, and then all hell broke loose.
We had Give Me All Your Love, This Love.
And you had to pin down, make sure the wife knew which one was specifically
right.
hers.
Now, this one is not based on my relationship.
This song is called The Way by Soul Creek. Guys, I want to really thank you for coming in tonight. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks
for having us.
The music sounds great. I wish you continued success here. The stuff is really coming out good. Keep the writing. It sounds great, so I really appreciate your time. And if all you listeners want to check them out, go to their Facebook page. Soul Creek has a Facebook page. Reverb Nation as well. Check out all their stuff. And on 320, they're going to be at Southside Rock and all these great songs that you heard tonight. Again, this last song by Soul Creek is called The Way.
Soul Creek. Locals only. 107.1 Frank FM.
I love the way you are. I love the way you move. I love that you can't stop when I'm making love to you.
Locals only. 1071 Frank FM.